All right, so here is another example of where we're going to need the product rule because we do have a variable expression times another variable expression. And even if we were to distribute out our parentheses, we would still have variable times variable. So plugging into the product rule, I will have 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 as the first function, and then the second function will be our e to the x. Again, distributing here, I get 4, or not distributing, but taking the derivative, I get 4x plus 5, and then the plus 2 goes to 0. Remember, the new concept here is that e to the x goes to e to the x, so that derivative will be e to the x. Then I plug in to the product rule with parentheses. So I like to put the e to the x powers last, if at all possible. So I'm going to write this as 4x plus 5 times e to the x, and then plus this other diagonal, which would be 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 times e to the x. Now, of course, when you're looking at this, you would potentially want to factor out a GCF. You could do that. Technically, they say do not expand your answer, so this answer should be appropriate. It is plugged in with the product rule. That should give you full credit. Two things that I just want to mention: you can drop these parentheses here because it is just one term, and same thing for the last e to the x, you could drop those parentheses. So if you feel tempted to type in parentheses 5x or 4x plus 5 e to the x, and then plus the 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 e to the x, you could do that as well. Another thing that you could do, just as for your information, is you could factor out the GCF. So looking at the two terms that we have here, the most that we could factor out as a GCF would be e to the x. That would then leave us from the first term, the e to the x is factored out, so just 4x plus 5. And then from the second term, the e to the x is factored out, so 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. And then once you do that division process, you could then combine your like terms. And there are like terms in that parenthesis. Of course, you have a 2x squared to start, and then a 4x plus 5x to give you a 9x, and then a 5 plus 2 to give you a 7. And of course, the e to the x will follow straight down. Now, again, for the homework software, you don't necessarily need to factor out the GCF. It's great if you want to. Technically, you can leave it right here, right after you plug in to the product rule.